And here we go, rocking into Dope or Nope right now. Anything else you wanted to plug, by the way?
Nah.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Peace.
Dope
What's
or Nope?
up?
Yo.
How we doing?
What's up? What's up?
Hello.
How's things?
How are we
Super
doing
duper.
today?
Doing
What's
good.
up, fam?
8,000 views on that episode of Finish My Track.
Yeah, I saw that. Very nice.
Yeah. I gotta add Lauren again here. Let me see.
Lauren.
He's coming, guys.
At least Danny didn't flush us out this time.
Literally.
Last time.
Yeah, he
like,
was pretty.
"Peace."
He was paranoid about that today.
Yeah.
Don't press the button.
Don't do it. Thanks, Danny. Good show, by the way, you guys. I was watching part of that.
Morgan's the man. He's so awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Peter, what's up? How are you? Thanks for joining. Rowney, we got a lot of guys crossing over. Todd Stuckey. Todd, if you're still here, I really like what you did with the Artie. Just like fatten it up a little.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving turkey style.
Oh, there he is.
Howdy.
Lauren.
Hello.
Yo.
How's it going, guys? How's everybody?
Very good.
Hi.
What's going on?
Did you get that drawer fixed, Raquel?
Nope. It's not.
dang
It's
it.
like permanently broken. So no.
I love it.
You need some duct tape.
Right.
I need.
Or just
Yeah,
a
but
nice
then I won't
kick.
be able to open
right?
it.
I think just a nice like.
That's right. You duct tape it for the show, and then you go over to it, and you're like, "What is wrong with this drawer? I can't open it at all."
Oh,
no.
use painter's tape. It's blue and it doesn't leave a mark.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm just. It's just.
Except
gonna
for
be
the
a
part
little,
where it's blue.
It's just gonna be a little unhinged like me, guys. It's fine. That's character.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. But does
Well.
Yeah.
Wow.
It
So
does.
here we are again. Dope or Nope. Thanks everyone for joining us. At the top, Mr. Lauren Padman. As you can see, you can kind of see his name in all of that hair.
it goes away
there it
when
is.
my hair's out of the way? See?
There it is.
If I put
Yeah.
my hair up, you
There it
can
is.
see it.
Lauren Padman, Vice President, Dimmock
Hey.
Records. Austin Kramer. A little further, a little further, a little further. There we go. You can find him with his tremendous Spotify presence, unreleased playlist, One World Radio, Tomorrowland. Nick Dietrich, The Disco Fries, Liftoff Recordings, Reach.me, Disco Fries. That's where you find him. Raquel Goldie, Vinny's Vibes, every Friday at 10 a.m. Hey, what's the special record for tomorrow? Can you give it away? You always debut sort of like one. Oh,
I don't think we did any.
wow.
Yeah.
You usually have
We
like
didn't-
one special.
I know. I don't think we did any. We didn't do any for tomorrow
Okay.
because we're just doing the hour mix from Afrojack. So.
Oh,
or the
well,
Afrojack.
that also
Yeah.
doesn't suck. Okay.
Yeah.
So Vinny's Vibes, Globalization on Sirius XM. You can
And
find her there.
Something exciting
Oh.
coming soon,
Oh.
but I can't say it yet.
Hey, tease.
Womp womp.
Teaserific.
Wow. Can you give us a hint?
Sirius XM is the hit.
All right.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. We'll
There it
talk
is.
about it soon.
Are we going to be hearing Raquel more? More, please.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
That would be great.
Let's go.
My name is Hess. I do all the radio and marketing for Armada Music in the United States, and I have a shit ton of fun doing that. So Dope or
Ooh.
Nope is every Thursday during the summer of demos, lots and lots of demos. We get such great music. We do it every Thursday at 3 p.m. EST. We play the demos, and we talk about them. We listen to you, what you're saying, and we can see all your comments on our screen right here. So keep the comments coming when you hear something you like and or don't like. Shall we just get started?
Yeah,
Let's
hit
do
We
it.
shall.
All right. You can hear the music okay?
I mean, right now it's low because we're
Yeah.
talking over it, but it's fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let
It's
me
there.
just sign in with SoundCloud
it's there. It's where
'cause
it's meant to be.
yelling at me. All right. So this first one is by Chris Johnson, and this is called "Stay with Me," and you're listening to Dope or Nope.
You are the one to take away my fear. So come on closer to me now. And let me hold you near, oh, hold you near. Hear me, I'm calling. Catch me, I'm falling. Oh, please stay with me
So that is Chris Johnson. That's called "Stay With Me." I saw a couple comments already. DopeOrNopeMusic.com. That's where you can send your demos. Fill out the sheet. It should be unreleased music because every time we play stuff that's released, we get a nice fat bounce from our social media guys. What do you guys think of Chris Johnson?
Who's going
It's
first?
coming off mute. Raquel, you're first. You're
I'm
the
first?
not on mute. Yeah.
I
Oh.
actually muted myself for once. Wow, I'm up. Okay, hello everyone. I liked it. I was like, what? I liked it. I feel like it has this like nostalgia sound we've been talking about and hearing for the past however many weeks now. But at the same time, I don't feel like it's anything super special. Not to be like too harsh, but I feel like it needs some other element that's gonna make me go, oh my god, wait, this is different, but still has that element of nostalgia, whether that's in the production or just the arrangement.
Yeah, definitely radio
What-
friendly. Comment from Rowney Music from Twitch.
Right.
By the way, this just a reminder. This is already out. I hit him on DM and asked because I
Oh.
usually search on Spotify previously, and maybe that's just a misconception of the show. But yeah, to clarify, please send works in progress, whips, demos, so we can
Whips.
talk about it. If it's already out, then it's too late.
Yeah.
But I think it's a
Exactly.
banging track. I do like it.
Exactly. I like just didn't like completely be convinced by the vocal. I think that's where I'm left.
I'm at the
Right.
same place with you.
But the sort of like mostly, but there were a few parts where she was like, sort of going back and forth on the vocal part, and maybe didn't hit it just nice. And I think that's I'm going to think anyway, or assume that might be, it's really important. And Nick and Lauren, you can talk to this. When you bring someone in to do a vocal, like the responsibility is, I think, on the producer, right? In a way, right? How do you get the best performance out of that person, right? They're going to bring the chops. You have them there because you think they're valuable for that particular project. So you already, in most theories anyway, you already think that they fit this thing. So how do you like pull it out of them?
Most of the time, it's comfort too. Like most singers that are coming in for a session, like you said, they have the chops, they're ready to go, but they might be nervous as hell. It might be one of the few times they've been in the studio with a producer.
Right.
So it's a unique experience for them. They don't know what to expect. They don't know how to deliver it the way the producer wants it delivered. So they need
Right.
guidance, but they also need just time to chill before the session and be a human and like get to know the producer and
Sure.
just be a reasonable like hangout versus it being like I gotta perform and it be a studio session and it's super stuffy and
And it feels tight, and then your
Yeah.
vocal, your throat closes a little bit. And I would say stay off of most things with caffeine. I've seen a lot of people go, "Yeah, I'm ready," and like caffeine. My understanding is like your vocal cord just
It
goes-
tightens your vocal cords.
So
Anything dairy too. Dairy like just produces
Right.
mucus and
Yeah, leave the wheel of cheese home.
That's
That's impossible. I love cheese.
Don't have coffee with creamer.
Yeah.
Right.
That's that's all I do.
Is
Right,
eat
same.
wheels of cheese?
Yeah,
If
and
we
coffee
get
with
Austin
creamer.
into a room, we'll make sure that Austin knows he can't have his glass of milk before he starts.
That's right. I'm
Exactly.
Austin Creamer. I like it
Hey.
75% cream.
Oh,
Hey!
Nick? Where's the drums?
Oh, I don't know if I have the.
Oh, come on.
You get an
That was
explosion.
All right,
you.
we'll take
It's
it.
fine.
We'll take it. All right,
green.
so let's. I'll shut up now. This is by Wux, W-U-X, and this is called Deeper. And you're listening to Dope or Nope Demos. Wow. I mean, can I sound the gong a little early today, or what?
Sure, go ahead.
Is there a noise for demo of the day? Do we have a sound
Yeah,
for
we should
that?
make one.
Yeah.
We should make a
Make one.
demo of the day sound.
We
Right.
should get Austin to smack his
Easy?
coffee cup with
Oh, okay.
We need the coffee cup to sort of be hit with a metal ring. We have Nick to sample it, and then he can take it to finishmytrack.com and see if he can create us a sound.
Hey.
I love when Lauren is the first person to plug the website.
Got it.
Wow.
Excited. I'm
You
gonna-
just got
Did-
Poppy.
Wait.
On it.
3:13. I just want to mark that.
That's
3:13.
right.
Good.
Exactly.
The 313.
13 minutes in.
For now, this is all I have for sound effects. That's
Okay.
it.
That'll work.
Fresh. Right out of the oven.
I mean,
That's it.
demo of the day gets a ping.
It's all I had on hand.
All right. All right.
Who was
all right.
it? Who
Dude,
was
so
your
this is
pick, guys?
Wux, W-U-X. This is called Deeper, and yeah, that was kind of impressive, personally. Anyone else want to jump in on that?
I loved it.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was when it first started, I was like, "Geez, it's taking a really long time to get to the point." So obviously, it wasn't designed for as a radio edit or a streaming edit, because otherwise people would have already switched out. So keep that in mind, that is the DJ mix for sure.
Yeah, it's
And-
404.
Yeah, well, even so, just the intro was designed for beats in, beats out, which is cool, but not for streaming and not for a radio program or a radio show like ours or Sirius XM or whatever. But the drop is obviously where it's at, and it was really great. The build, the first couple of deeper vocal samples, I liked it when it was detuned. It sounded cool, but when it came in at a regular tone, I didn't like it. But then as soon as it detuned and went down, and then
Meaning you don't like the part where it's deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
I
So right
I
there-
liked
right there.
that part when it was down to where you were singing, but when he was the regular voice, I thought it doesn't give the right character of how deep the song was. So as soon as it did get detuned and went down, it was perfect. It was exactly what I was hoping to hear. So I would probably potentially start it there and not even use the normal octave. Would be my
Funny
advice.
enough, I forgot what the normal vocal sounded like. I just
Yes,
remember the
just back it up if you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna
to
put
the-
it right here.
Right the drop, yeah.
So wait,
No.
this piece?
No. When the drop started, when the build started, so after all of the 30 seconds of beats in.
Right here. So
That bit's good.
So you like
This
this
is
part?
So you don't like the rest.
This is all good. This is all good. All of this is great. So my advice was just the very first ones that I heard. It said it 3 times as like a normal tone, then it goes down, and it goes down, and it goes down, and it just keeps going down. And I think that it should start already down. It shouldn't start normal at all. Because then you're kind of starting it with like a cool, interesting, unusual tone, which is great. That was
I agree with that.
a very small piece of advice, but you know, as Nick will attest, that's what I do. I like to piss people off with the smallest little pieces of advice that make it. It's all the
You're
1%.
taking a piss.
You add them all up, and you got a winner. You know.
Are you
Sounds like
taking a piss, as they say in Australia?
Right.
No, taking
No.
the piss. You can't
Very
take
confusing, your dialect.
Speaking
So-
of pissing, I have to be right back because it's been a long day of water. So I'll be.
Good
All
to
right.
Don't
know.
fall in, Nick.
Ah.
Right. So what I was thinking though is like the part that you like. So right here. So instead of coming back up, whereas to this build, I would have cut to right there. So when it went down, and then just bump, dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
so
you know
like
what?
lose
If I
that
was
whole like
yeah.
rebuild
Yeah,
section.
if I was re-editing this, I would do exactly what you said, and then on the second drop, you'd keep that build up for the second part
Right.
because it would feel like
Right.
a variation.
I think it was
and-
early for that, and potentially not necessary, right at that moment.
Yeah,
what
I
if we
agree with that. Yeah,
started
it
higher?
did take a long time to get to the point.
Could we start higher in the beginning? Like even
And
a
come
few
down
hundred
to it.
hertz? Yeah, like a few hundred hertz higher. So it's like
As in
deeper and deeper.
oh,
and
semitones.
deeper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
could.
That could be.
I
But
feel
it
like
would
there
be
needs to
weird.
be more of a drastic change for it to either needs to be that or already start deeper. Lower.
Lower. There you go.
Lower.
Lower. That's right, in my accent.
Lower.
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 See, that's how to do it. That's how
Now
I
you're
do
taking a
it.
piss.
Taking the piss, not a piss. If you're not taking a piss, it's really rude.
How are we still on this topic of pissing? I went to the bathroom and I came back. It's
We were
a
just waiting for you.
Hold on,
Yeah,
hold on.
I don't
Listen,
know.
Lauren's got a
Right up
whole
here.
notepad. Lauren's got a whole notepad of all these Australianisms, and I
Yes.
just think it's the most entertaining thing ever.
I do. It's in my
You should write a
reminders.
book.
Yeah, it's
I was
called
just gonna
a
say,
thing here. It's
coffee
called
table book.
It's called Aussie sayings.
It's a handbook. Very nice.
There's
Really?
lots and lots of these Aussie sayings. There's tons of them. All of these things. Basically, anytime I say something that you guys don't understand, I'm like, "You don't know this? Really? Oh, great!"
It's right here on
Yeah,
page
that's what I
32.
list.
Right. Whenever Lauren comes over, we sit and have conversations for hours about these words. I just don't like. It's amazing.
That's how you learned about the tall poppy.
Right.
Puppy.
Which, by the way, was that whole story you did, Kramer, is very well received.
Yeah.
I think that was really something. Let's pop off to the next demo. This is Pepe, Oro, and Don Criminals, and this is called Games.
Pepe Le Pew.
I'm in the game, flipping it. I'm in the game, flipping it. I'm in the game, flipping it.
I like this. This is cool. This
Really
feels
good.
like I saw a comment which was great if I can find it. Nice rapping, not annoying. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
exactly what I think. It's like it's cool it's cool. The rapping isn't trying to be too over the top. It's not trying to be too boring either. It's kind of cool. It's not overused. It's got like a nice little rhythmic flow that Nick will probably say that fits with the percussion or the rhythm of some other part of the track. So I think it all glues in nice. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I love it. I love that like triplet flow over the straight ahead drums. I also think the vibe of the record works for a bunch of different formats. So you can play this in an open
100%.
format club, bottle service club, or play it at a festival, and it's gonna work across the board. So yeah, I have no critiques on it really. I think it's dope, and we would definitely play it.
Yeah, I could
Or
hear it on
sign it.
Diplo too, like that kind of
Yeah.
channel. You know?
Don Criminal on vocal. Don Criminals. Never heard of Don Criminals, but Magnifique.
Yeah.
Magnifique.
Well done.
Let's give it an 8. That's an 8.5 from the
Yeah.
Richter scale.
8.5.
8.5.
Out of 10?
Out of 10, the droppability, as
Yeah.
Nick was
Oh wait,
attesting to.
here comes another one.
All right.
I'm in the game, flipping it, whipping the chain, again.
This is a long version, but really well put together.
My chain, I said
I mean,
I feel like I feel like he could be, if he was more breathy with the rap, it would be cool. It would change it
Yeah.
up a little bit, because I feel like this is just very like rap EDM type of situation where we've heard records like this, and I feel like if he was more breathy or different with how he was doing the rap, it could be really cool and add a little bit more dynamic to what we're used to hearing.
right.
Yeah.
That's good. Could also be, it might also sound better to us a little bit if it were like short, edited for like our format a little bit more. I mean,
Agreed.
that was only, we only like heard 3 minutes and there was still quite a bit left to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, to Raquel's point, I guess now thinking about the vocal, you were gonna get in the weeds of it. I don't
Look at me.
I can't differentiate that vocal from a bunch of other vocals in that style. So there's
Yeah.
nothing that like says to me who is this artist on this record.
That's a good point.
Right.
Yeah. I
But
think
it serves
the
the record well. I
dynamic.
mean, doesn't take
Yeah.
away from the record as a whole, but it's just something
Yeah.
to make note of.
Which means that you're both right. Like, exactly what you just said, Nick. It doesn't take away from the record, but to Raquel's point, it doesn't necessarily make it special or different or noticeable. Or, oh, wow, who's that vocal? You know, it doesn't jump out as like... I remember speaking to a, a really successful A&R person who said, if you listen to Halsey on the radio, it can only be Halsey. So if you have a vocalist that sounds only like them and very unique versus you listen to a vocal and you're like, oh, that could be 10 different people, that's a problem. And this one is, you know, a generic vocal. It doesn't sound specifically tonally like it's a particular person because it sounds like so many other kinds of vocals, but it also does what it says on the lid. It's
Right.
there to be a, you know, great percussive, rhythmic, back to my original point, vocal that keeps you in it and then hits you with a drop.
Yeah, I think it works really well.
I love that phrase, does what it says it does on the lid.
Right.
Add that to
Yeah.
the list.
That's
Does
going
what
on
it
the
guys
lid.
don't know
does
that
on the lid.
You don't know that one?
No, but it's great.
Thank you.
Great.
Oh, are we adding
Does
another
what
one?
it says it does
Yep.
on the lid.
Does what it says.
Wouldn't
on
it
the
be?
lid.
Wouldn't it be like the side of the bottle with the directions?
Nah.
Could also
Oh,
work.
Okay, I don't make these sayings up. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Well, we just made one up, I guess. Now we
Oh,
have
yeah.
our own.
Says on the lid.
Oh,
Wait, you
yeah.
didn't make says what it does on the lid, or does what it
On
says
the
on the
side
lid?
of the
That's-
package.
is that
I'll
another
tell you
one?
what I'm gonna do.
Container.
Just for this show, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to try to use as many Australian.
Only
colloquialisms.
respond. Yes.
Now we're
only
talking.
Respond with isms.
Yes.
Now we're
it.
going, baby. That's what I'm here
love
for.
it.
Wait, this
Even
is a
that
really
feedback-
good question.
Go ahead. Sorry.
How much of your soul can you put into a vocal without overthinking? That is a good question.
That should
That's
be
a
where you-
tweet.
Depends where you are that day.
that should be a tattoo.
I mean, how'd you wake up? How are you feeling?
How much of your
You're
soul
either going
can
to
you
pour
put
it all in,
overthinking?
or, you know.
I think
What's your
to be one of the points that you guys made earlier, I think it was you, Hess, was talking about a vocalist that goes in the studio and how they're mentally set up for the session. There's a couple of things about it. One is I've seen a producer literally send a vocalist home because they turned up with the vocals on a piece of paper, and they said, if you don't know the lyrics, forget it. You know, you need to know it and feel it. So that will probably help to answer that part of the question of like, how much of your soul do you put in to a vocal without overthinking? You put in whatever you feel. It shouldn't be a thinking thing. It should be, you listen to the lyrics and the emotions of the music, and then you hit it. And it can be soft. It can be the Christina Aguilera lights off, lying down on the floor with the microphone suspended from the ceiling. So she's just on the floor, like whispering the vocal, which is a really cool technique I had heard of. It can be.
You heard of it?
Yeah, that's what I did there. One of the biggest songs that I was ever involved in was in Australia. It was called "Don't Hold Back" by a band called the Potbellies. Terrible name, great music. And they had the song. They had this amazing a cappella that was done where the guy was blindfolded, tied his arms behind a chair, and put into a clothes. What's it called? Where all your clothes are. Anyway, whatever that is.
Closet?
There you go. Closet will work. Closet work. Yeah. And they basically made him do 20 push-ups, and they tied him to the chair, and they made him do it with all of this emotion, with his eyes closed, just feeling the music. And we put him in a studio for 3 more days at $1,000 a day, and we could not get a better vocal than that. And it went on to become #1 in Australia, and it became a Jeep Sync commercial for 10 years. It was an enormous record. And it all came from the emotion in that moment. And I don't think there was much thinking.
I was just going to say earlier, maybe it's void of thinking. Maybe.
Right.
I don't vocalize, so I'm pretty much the person to stay out of the conversation. But as many studio sessions as I've seen, back through the days, like just, you know, like Shawnee Taylor, for instance, who I saw do quite a few records with, you know, like Eric Murillo and a bunch of other house legends, and she would just come in, and she was always in such a good mood. She'd close the door, and you're literally just blow your face off, and then walk out like,
yeah,
what's for lunch?
Right.
You know, I don't
I
think
feel
there
like you have
was
to-
much thinking.
Sorry, Hess.
Yeah,
I
go
feel
ahead.
like you have to find that balance of, if you think you're overthinking, but you can't be cocky. There's like that difference, because I obviously have not been in as many studio sessions as you guys, but I still have seen, like, I'm like, oh, that guy, that vibe, no, and then the song ends up not coming out great, and then the person who's just chilling, same thing you said, they're getting to know each other, they're just figuring it all out together, but confident. That's when it ends up being really great.
Being the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
This goes for production too. Like on the production side, I know for us and other artists I've seen that are really skilled producers that can get tracks done, they just fly through them. They fly, like, as the ideas happen, they don't get stuck in like, oh, I need to tweak the sound design, I need to tweak the mix, I need to do this, because then your idea changes and it gets lost usually in that process. The best producers usually just fly through the idea, get it down, and then they go back and they do all the trim work and add the ear candy and fix the mix and all that.
And all the things.
Yeah.
And by the way, these kind of conversations, so I posted on Twitter today, I was like, so what do you guys want? More demos, less talk, or more rants from the panel? And initially, the first couple of things was like way skewed towards the demos. And as we're speaking here, that's in the back of my head. And then I wanted to go to the tweet really quick. But now it's 60% more rants, 40% demos. I just want to bring that up. I
think
just
it's
want to
100%
mention that.
more Australian isms.
Right.
from
Okay.
Lauren.
So
On fire today. I need more.
Come on,
on
you bloody galah.
Lauren, from
What?
this point on, it has to
Come
be
on, you bloody
isms.
galah.
What
You know
does
that
that
one?
even mean?
That's,
What is that? An animal?
I don't know what that is,
Speak
but I'm going
galah.
to tell you. But hold
A
on.
galah is like a bird. A galah is a bird. It's like a massive.
I know that.
It's like a massive parrot. I don't know.
Oh, you're on fire today, Lord.
Jeez.
Galah, I don't know.
All right. Speaking of on fire, I'm going to move it. Kirk
Galah.
Cozier and Patrick
seen the
Coles.
galah?
This demo is called "Get It Girl" G-U.
Girl.
Oh, I love
Girl.
that.
This is really good.
Girl.
Here we go. Dope or nope. Demo time. It's quite a drop for a 3-minute song. Here we go. That was cool. That was a pretty unique drop there. Once again, that's Kirk Cozier and Patrick Coles. Get a girl. Once again, what do you guys think?
So, I like it. The one thing I'd address is the kick bass relationship. Right now, you've got kind of a clunky kick, which works for the style of record it is, but your bass has like a ton of attack in the same area, in the same frequency range as the kick. So they're almost like fighting each other in a way, both sonically and rhythmically, because your bass almost sounds like it has like a kick to it. So I would just have a look at that, maybe smooth out that attack a little bit, and that's the main thing I'd address.
Did anyone else notice where the break or the breakdown, after it was all heavy with maybe 8 or 16 bars, then it got into, Hess, you mentioned something. You're like, oh, that's kind of a whatever for this size of song. Before that commentary, it felt like there was a gap that was unneeded and just, it disconnected me from the track when it went to a solemn
Right
chord.
here. So it goes down.
Well, right when you said that, when it,
Yeah.
before he inserted the whatever that is, there's a break, and I need it like melded together.
Yeah.
Like after the beat stopped,
Yeah, this.
there was
Right.
empty
I'm not
space.
gonna lie, I zoned out because I totally was like, I'm attention span. Like that's
Yeah,
what
I
we're
didn't have
talking
the
about.
window in the forefront either. I thought it was like I thought something happened. You know, I didn't have the window up in front of me. I thought it like kicked out, but yeah, that can just be like actually kind of edited, like this piece here.
Yeah, can you go where it drops off?
So here,
Before that.
yeah, hold on. It's gonna happen right here.
Something's missing.
Yeah, I don't know what something's not. It didn't mix.
I like the dirty record effect. That's interesting. And then he goes.
I would have percussion in this whole time, even if you low pass it in, just
Right.
to keep the momentum off of the drop.
Because
moving.
this build is like really interesting. If you think it's gonna go up, it goes down and back up.
It definitely
Yeah, that
flows
part's
though.
really cool.
I
Yeah.
mean, not to say it, it's definitely tool roomy. I like it. It grooves.
100%.
Ocean.
All right,
Water.
Kirk Cozier, Patrick Coles, thanks for sending that. We're gonna switch back to SoundCloud. Hold on.
That's
There
our
we go.
boy,
Yeah,
Kirk.
DJ using not DJ Kirk anymore, huh?
He's got a lot of music.
Next demo up, this is Years of War, and this is called Used to Be. You're listening to Dope or Nope demo time.
DoperNoMusic.com for the demos.
Every little word word I say is like a blade, it cuts right to the core. Every other move I make, it's no mistake, I always seem to hurt. Oh, I lost myself, don't recognize
Loving this
these
vocal.
bones. Oh, my blood's gone cold. There's something running through my veins, it takes the place of what was innocent. A poison that I can't escape, it makes its way through every inch of me. And I don't wanna be this way, I'll be this way, I'm digging my own grave. There's something running through my veins, it takes the place of how I used to be. Takes the place of how I used to be.
Great.
Okay.
So cool.
Somebody said this is a Monster Cat tune.
No, I think
it's
it-
off the cartoon.
Oh, I
I
guess
think
sounds
it's
like
a
one.
it's a paying homage to Porter Robinson's song called the same thing. Years
Wow.
of War. Because
That
it's kind of got that same Porter's early stuff.
if that's not signed,
I love this.
that was.
Yeah. That
Did
song
you hear this
slaps.
vocal right at the very beginning, where it's right away with like, hold on, right here, where like that upper part of the harmony.
Every little word I say
Here.
is like a blade, it cuts right to the core. Every
I
other
mean-
move I make.
Ugh,
That's really nice.
Yeah.
I had some hairs stand up in the back of my neck on that one.
Wow.
The only thing that I was like a little unsure of was that the build into the drop, like the drop felt a little abrupt because the build was
Totally
like
was.
yeah, I
Build was
just
great.
They didn't walk into that smoothly, but I mean it worked because it was like, oh yeah. But structurally, I think there could have been like a little step into that, because it felt like somebody had chopped a piece of the song out of there, and it just was like smash.
It's right here, right?
Yeah. Hold on, I'll turn it up. I think
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
like
Seven Lions.
dun,
Very Seven Lions.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it's a good one.
That's an
I love
8.6.
Whoa.
yeah. I have 3 in my top 5 already. That's another one. Years of War used to be.
Do we know who
super
the
cool.
vocalist is? Or no?
I got nothing. Hold on. Years of War. Years of War. Years of War.
is that in anybody's demo of the day? I'm just curious.
I'm happy to put it in there.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Oh,
I'm
you're
on it.
sitting there holding out on the sound effect. Like, like,
He's like, I just
just-
want to press the button.
I
He had his hand over the bell. He's like, "Yeah, this one."
anyone?
I
Anyone?
I should just get a real bell and I'll hit the bell. That would
Right.
be even better.
That. Oh wait, that's not like a grade school desk bell. That's what it sounds like.
I mean, that's what's sampled, but it's coming off of my computer.
Right. All right.
a-
I'll
Look at
ta-
that.
I'll
That
take
was easy.
Yeah.
That was easy button.
it. All right. Next demo. 32 Stitches, who we've heard a lot from in the past, and just really great music. Justin Demond and Bromar, and this is called I'm Okay. But before we start that, just real quick, a couple of quick announcements. DopeOrNopeMusic.com is where you can send music. We have a fairly long list of things that are submitted, so we just go down the list and just keep banging and banging until we get through it. Doesn't always happen on each individual show, so there's that. This is Dope or Nope. It happens every Thursday at 3 p.m. EST. You can find us all at reach.me, our specific names, which if you're watching, you can already see that. But we're here every week. My name is Hess. I do radio and marketing promotion for Armada Music in the United States. Austin Kramer from Unreleased, his great Spotify playlist. Tomorrowland is actually the place, and you can hear his show every Monday. Nick Dietrich from the Disco Fries and Liftoff Music, Lauren Padman from Dimmock Records. He is the vice president of all things there. Raquel Goldie from Vinny's Vibes on Sirius XM Globalization. Also a fantastic social media person to talk to and work with if you're trying to get your stuff together on platforms. And of course, if there's something K-pop, she's gonna know about it.
That's right.
Just saying. So once again, this is 32 Stitches. We'll play some more demos, and this is called I'm Okay.
Running circles like a circus merry-go-round. She got too much burdens that she carries around. I can't figure her out. It got me thinking about her. Why she have to lie to me and bring it up now? I can't say her mind no more. I'm no longer proud. Got me tripping about it. Got me tripping about it. Treating me like a cigarette. Pouring rain, I'm so upset. Damn it wrong, she's on the next. Now you're gone, tried my best. Why'd you have to leave? My heart breaks. I'm trying to act like I am okay. You left me all alone, you said you stay. Said you stay. I'm okay, I'm
Nice.
Always
That's a
good.
cool one.
That guy. 32 Stitches, Justin Demond, and Bromar. I'm Okay.
We should also shout his chill alias, 32 Stitches, also known as Atma.
Oh,
very
yeah.
entrancing, beautiful chill out tracks as well.
100%.
Very talented. He's from our Clubhouse days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
thanks.
Great
He's been
work,
with us
32.
quite
Wait, what's
some time.
happening here? What's happening here now? Hold on.
Where? What?
The rap.
This section.
Oh, let me turn it up. Oops, wrong. Oh, please. I'll go back.
Hold please.
Oh,
He's got a lot to say.
You was nothing but a ting, just a summer fling. Used to treat me like a king, where the fuck you been? You was riding beside me like you was on a team, and now that flame out. Why'd you have to go and lie to me? I'm right back where I started. Same man, but I'm heartless. I treated you like a goddess. You changed up on me regardless. Yeah, I've been true when you toxic. Got a clear view of the darkness. You got a sin, I was all in, but your true colors came out quick, so I'm
It's great.
Nice.
somewhat disgruntled relationship, perhaps.
I
Ah,
love this.
I like.
I
that,
love the angst.
Yeah.
Lauren, where's the ism?
Hiss.
What do you mean the
I know.
ism?
I'd
You
love
need
to
an
know what he
Australian
thinks
thing?
about this.
Is
Yeah.
there an ism for like? This
Don't be
kind of
coy, Lauren. You know
break
what
up?
we need. Get up here.
That's his deflection, so he can think of one real quick. He's going through his book right now.
I'm missing what you're trying to say because then I
What
can
do you
try
think
to
of the track?
Australianize it.
What do you think of the track in Australian?
It's for me personally, it's a little bit middle of the road. I liked it, but I didn't necessarily. I wasn't like blown away by it. But
So you took a piss.
No,
No? I thought you did. I thought that's
that's not how it works.
Oh.
It's not how it works.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. It's yeah, it's a nice record. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed parts of it. I thought it was it felt very commercial trap. I think that vocoder was so the Melodyne and autotune was really set up super high, and which makes it melodic, but also makes it slightly commercial leaning on purpose. But yeah, the production seemed to be pretty glued in.
My
So,
favorite part was the 1-2, the focus on the 1-2 before the rap.
Right.
You don't have to go back to it, but you guys remember when it was like dun dun shh for like
Right.
bars on bars on bars.
No, he changed it up nicely. But that's been his sort of MO, right? When he gives us tracks, that they're always quite complex, I think is the word I want to use.
Yeah,
And he's evolving quickly.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember when we first started? He was part of the I want to say the India contingent, right?
Yeah.
On Clubhouse. Yeah, so 32 Stitches. Thanks for sending that. Next up, I don't know if this is out. It says no, but this is 2DB featuring Linny, and this is called Gravity. Right here on Dope or Nope.
I'm cycled out. No light is getting to me now. Little things can spin me out. Pulled by the chaos crashing down. Just when all hope seems to fall out of focus, survival instincts get set into motion. My mind was closed, but my heart's broken open now. Stars came into the horizon. Wait up, the world always rising. Got to tune into my guidance. Holding my energy, letting go of gravity. Leave behind gray frame of mind.
Can I go first on this one?
By all means.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I will, I get these kind of songs that, for radio, right? I'm like, when it gets going, and I'll call it when the conversation gets going in the song, like it did right there, it's great, right? And everyone's like, yeah, and they maybe guys are listening to it on the phone with you, and I think you can hook them in at that point. But there are occasions, and I think, which is exemplified here, where, I get holding back in portions of the song to create the drama or create the, the highs and lows or all the things. But sometimes I think you can hold back too much. And
Controversy.
when you're in my position where I have a programmer on the phone and they're like, oh, let's listen to it right now while we're together.
Right.
And I already have this in the back of my head, I mute myself without saying, like, can you skip ahead? Because, radio doesn't skip ahead, right? They're just
Right.
like you play it from the beginning. So, but I have this in the back of my head, and that is the case. And it can happen with, it's just the design of the production, and it can happen with somebody like large, professional, well known, and it can happen, that can come from anyone. And I get why I don't write songs, so I'm, I don't want to change the creative process, but there is a place, and maybe it's a separate mix down that gets sent to radio, not an edit, but an actual mix down where there's a little bit of snap at the beginning. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I could speak to this. I think that edits are arguably the one thing that comes really easy for me in an Ableton session. I kind of know how to do it because I keep thinking about a dance floor and how to keep them moving. And you need to give a dance floor something consistently to move to. So when it breaks down and it becomes meterless and there's nothing to snap to or jump to or move to, it's a problem. And I've noticed that for the long DJing career I had, I always was thinking anytime you hit a breakdown, people go, oh, they sort of come out of the trance and go, I might go to the bar, I might leave the dance floor, actually let's leave the club. So the idea is to keep people into a rhythm And I think in radio, it's a similar kind of thing. If you're driving your car and the song sort of starts to drag, is what radio keeps saying to us, Hess. If the song feels like it's dragging, then it'll snap a person out, and they'll go, "Wait, what's this? Hang on, switch," and then they'll be out. And you'll unfortunately convert a person from a lean back experience where they're just doing something to like a lean in, wait, what's this? What am I doing here? Kind of vibe. And when a person converts from lean back to lean in, and you better hold them with something compelling. And we love to talk about having an incredible drop where people go, wait, what's that? That's awesome. But you also don't want them to go, wait, why is this part boring? Or what's going on here? Or I'm bored, or I'm zoning out.
Right.
To what Raquel was talking about earlier. So the answer is beat consistency and rhythm strength. And that comes from keeping something moving, to what Nick was talking about before, and having like a low passed kick that sort of sounds like it's muffled, and it's still something that you can kind of hear if it's not just fully up.
Right.
Yeah, so lots of editing would be required to keep the song moving with a meter, with a rhythm.
Yeah.
But how would you
I
say
have
that
two-
in Australia?
Good. Oh.
What are you saying?
How would you say that in Australia?
Oh man, I hate being on the spot like this.
No.
I have two quick thoughts on
That's
this.
you.
You have something recorded? What the hell's
This
going
is
on
Lauren.
here?
No.
Wow.
Oh wait, did you see
Forget
this
I said
comment?
anything.
Don't Boris get to the chorus? That's fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't chorus get to the chorus. Right.
That's a good
So
one.
I have two quick tidbits on this, two stories about one record. This record called "You Make Me" with Raquel Castro that we did a few years ago.
It's so
Uh,
good. You
thank
play
you,
it
man.
as the intro music, right?
No, but
But maybe
What's
you
the
should.
track? Whatever track you play before your Twitch.
oh,
goes
the
on.
Luso record is a different song. That's not ours.
Isn't
Tom
the
will
lyric
talk.
like feels? Okay,
We'll come back for the Kramer acapella shortly.
forget it.
So this
Yeah, talking.
this record "You Make Me" played it for Edwin Phenom at Globalization, and he's like, "Love the song. We want to play it, but chop out this entire section of this verse." So we didn't really understand, and we went into the production, and basically had to retool the verse so it made sense to jump halfway from the verse straight into the build, which then he wanted cut down a bit to get to the chorus. So we were to the chorus by 35 seconds into the record
Wow.
instead of a minute. But
Yeah.
once we got our heads wrapped around hearing it that way, couldn't unhear it.
Yeah.
And that was just like the definitive version, and it
Right.
worked really well at radio. On the flip side, gave Geronimo and Rita a remix of the record that we did with Zach Martino, and they were like, "This is perfect, it's awesome." Heard it on the radio. They re-edited the record to put the drop first, so there was
Right.
like 4 bars of the drop at the top of the song before the first verse came in, and
Yep.
it just worked really well, especially off other records. Ended up going #1 at BPM. So
Right.
Awesome.
So,
Yeah.
have the same thing happen with the Armin record, Human Touch, which they didn't love. Then there was a club mix. They're like, "This is better." And they're like, "We're gonna edit it." I'm like, "Yeah, go for it. Whatever." I mean, I don't. You run the company that, like, you know your listeners much better than I do. So what's, of course you should play it. And of course, yesterday was #1 in research.
Oh wow.
And
Ding 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 ding.
went from like, a song they didn't actually even want to play to like a version that might work. And I remember the A&R guy heard it like on the radio, and I'm getting like the WhatsApp texts that are like, "This edit, oh my God, no, can't blah blah blah." I'm like, first of all, it's on the air, so shh.
Yeah. Right.
And secondly, I mean, those guys
You're
know,
welcome.
like, they're going to make an edit for their listeners. Right on. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, I didn't, make the song, so I have a less attachment to it that way. But, it was like the same thing where, like, the big smash was at the beginning of the hook. It was like they went right into, like, the chorus, and it was very big. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa. and then it comes back around again to the song, and it works. Obviously,
Yeah,
very well.
I think the person that you were speaking to just needs to be told that the radio play is a promotion for your art, not the actual full art. So if you want to go and
Right.
get the art, then go to a streaming service and listen to it all the way through in its entire journey that you've created. But
But that's the whole
someone-
idea, right? That's the whole
Love
idea,
that.
is to get it in front of people, right? Not that
Exactly.
Armin has a problem getting in front of people, but it was just like
Yeah.
same thing. Just edits are, that's an incredible art.
Yeah,
but
it
Also,
characterizes
well-
the station. It gives personality
Yeah.
to the station. When I started at BPM, the entire library said BPM edit next to it, and I started doing AK edits, and I'm moving choruses around sometimes, but for the most part, people used to send in longer than we needed. Just dry beats with no bass lines at all, and like this is for DJing, not for the channel. And I think just over the years that is the personality of the station, is the
Right.
records that you hear, because they're not what you hear elsewhere. So there's a tad of exclusivity to that I just adore for linear media, that we don't really hear that anymore. Now it's just everything that has to be on Spotify and on Apple Music as intended. And if you F with that at all, then you're in trouble a lot of the time. So
right.
It also has to
Crazy.
do with how all the stations do their metrics, right? It has to do with like them listening to the first 30 seconds of the song. Are they
Sure.
changing the station? Like that has to do with all that too. So if you are really trying to promote for radio, you have to think about that. It's not just your art, unfortunately. It's what's going on behind the scenes at the station itself.
I'm telling you, we could do an entire show on edits.
On radio.
On radio
Yeah.
edits. Like, this guy wants an intro. This guy says start it at the vocal, and this guy, I need 15 seconds because they want to pre-sell it. It's like, absolutely,
Yeah.
I'll make 15 edits.
Yeah, Geronimo, who's the head of SiriusXM, and worked with you, Austin, for the longest time. He said on a panel that I think we were all at actually, Hessen, and we heard him say that when he listens to a song, he actually will hear the part that he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get the instrumental of that part and make it the intro. So he's already like thinking that way. So ever since he said that, like 4 or 5 years ago, I send out the song to radio with the instrumental. So if they want to make their own edit, feel free.
And when
Yeah,
you
please
get
do.
either they give you the heads up or they don't. But if you hear it, or Armada, Hess, your A&R had a complaint about it, like to me, that is just, you just heard just gold. If a programmer asks to change something, then you
Oh my
know
God.
that they're gonna promote
They're
the
committed.
track, because that's
Yeah.
14 seconds, 8 seconds of
Right.
dry beats that they can talk over and promote your record.
Correct.
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
So, like
Absolutely.
Armin's gonna be playing in New York. Armin's gonna be playing in
Yeah.
Arizona.
Right.
Stuff like that.
I mean, but that's the whole thing, right? Like, they look at song in the traditional way, and how it's written, how it's produced. Maybe they were even in the studio, so it's like super ingrained in their heads. And we all, I think, look at the edit as a tool to start, enhance, and close a conversation. And so, however that changes during the course of that conversation, it changes, and if it works,
Agreed.
there it is.
I love stories like that.
It's better to have something to talk into with the actual instrumental than some weird whack bed that I have to put in that doesn't make
Weird
sense.
whack.
And
Weird
then you
whack.
have
Right.
to like weird whack, and then you have to
Weird
like
whack.
it's so bad, so bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Shall
One
we get
time
to the
when
next?
we had Avicii's
Oh, go ahead.
record on the air, and it was an unapproved remix. I think it was an EDX, and it wasn't released yet or something like that. And we had Avicii in the building, and his manager Ash was just like looking up. When you enter into the fish or the lobby on 36, it's 2 stories, and you could hear the speakers up there. They're blasting, and it was his song. We didn't plan for that to happen. It was like in the morning sometime, and it was in rotation every hour. It was like in the height of on FM. They had the original radio edit playing, so we switched over to EDX's version, and it was just like he saw a ghost when he walked in. He's like, what is this we're listening to? That's live BPM. He's like, he flipped. He's like, I never heard this. What is it doing on the air? And there was a whole like thing about it, and we called it EDX, and he's like, what? I thought you said, and he's like, don't worry, it's cleared. And it was a whole like to do after that. But I love those experiences when like not all the communications have occurred yet, and it's already on air. Like
Right.
That's always. Nothing's ever
Right.
occurred. Ever.
All the communications haven't occurred. I love that. That's a
Ever.
nice way to put it. Well, here's a good communication for you. This is M.Ye, and this one is called Acid. You're listening to Dope or Nope Demos. Comments?
Sounds
Yeah,
like
I'm
a
into
really
the-
heavy drop to me.
I'm into the vibe. I couldn't tell if it was distorting because of the mix or because of the playback, but if it was because of the mix, definitely don't push that one as hard into the
Yeah.
master.
Yeah, I was
It's gonna
say
be
the
loud
same thing,
enough.
because I could hear it too, and I hear it before it comes out to you guys, so it's definitely distorted intentionally,
Okay.
maybe.
Got it. Well then, undistorted.
I was gonna say less distortion then.
Right.
Yeah.
But a nice track, I think.
Yeah, it's cool.
Aptly named. That's M.Ye with Acid. Up next, Santola. Tolye? Santolaya. And this is called Gone. This is the unreleased radio edit. And you're listening to Dope or
To
Nope.
forever being happy, but my eyes were meant to see. So come a little closer. Is our love really over?
Get the bell ready.
My feelings left sober in the cold of October. 'Cause I'm too far gone, too far gone. 'Cause I'm too far gone with you. 'Cause maybe I'm a little bit too far gone, too far gone. I'm too far gone, too far gone. I'm too far gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. It's 4 in the morning. Sneaking out of bed, I'm yearning. Late night texts emerging.
I am going
Have
to
you
listen
now
to the rest of
started
that later for sure. But what do you guys think?
I'll take a crack at this real quick. Everybody's into it, obviously, and it's because it's awesome, and it's really great, and it's like an easy 90% their record, 90% awesome song. I think that the drop is, just to be controversial, is ever so slightly underwhelming.
That's what I think.
You do?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
What's your vibe?
I thought it was
Agreed.
super underwhelming. I think it was super vibey. I love how it started. I was intrigued, and then it just stayed like this. because I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, if I played this on my radio show as our pick of the week, we have this whole mix. The last 4 minutes are our picks of the week. People would turn this off. They'd be
Right.
like,
Yeah.
But it needs a little bit more depth. I don't know. You could do so many different things to it. It doesn't need to be that much different, but like, I just feel like we were expecting it to go whoop, and it went blurp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just continued. It,
Right-
it
right
wasn't compelling, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at 59 or whatever it is, 101. So when it just does that, when it deep,
It turned from being something
like,
that could be really cool to just being lounge music.
a little
Yeah.
more, it's like
Music.
a little more gas on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
a
think
little
I-
bit something. To
a
make
little
me
bit of
go,
something.
"Ooh, okay. Yeah, a little
Or
something.
less gas, and then it could be a beach song.
Exactly.
Maybe down after you release it.
Exactly.
Or the other way.
Exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was thinking the same
100%.
thing. I was thinking that when it hits the drop, instead of it trying to lift, because we would all argue that it doesn't lift in a significant enough way to be compelling, maybe you do a takeaway and you take the hats out, and it just drops to like a bass line and kick and the vocal, and then you kind of like get this moment of where everything like sucks up and it changes, you know, as opposed to what. Hess, are you playing a commercial?
I
Thanks, Hess.
don't know why they
Appreciate
want me to sign in again. This is the
Lord.
4th time I'm signing in.
You missed your
Alright.
Pandora
Or-
payment again.
it. Yeah,
This
you
is
did.
like,
it.
no, now they
You
want
can
me to
make it more,
verify.
like,
I'm like, are you
Oh,
guys
God.
really kidding
Okay,
me?
okay,
Was it
okay, go ahead.
SoundCloud or?
All right, everyone. Raquel,
SoundCloud.
go.
make it more like dreamy and airy. It could be more Annabelle England 80s disco-y.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, there's
I
a lot of
just
cool
only want more of
components.
that.
Yeah, to your point, I agree, and all the elements are there. There was some like ear candy synthy sounds in there that really popped out really nicely, but they just meandered. They didn't have any melodic, there was no structure to what was happening, which works. But if it was an actual melody that you could take away from the drop, it would be a lot more compelling, I think. So
Right.
Yeah.
Because the beginning was so cool. Just the
Yeah.
like the vocals, and you were like, "Ooh, okay, I like where this is going. What's
Exactly.
happening?" And then it just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
I liked
It
whatever
meandered.
key or mallet instrument that was in the background, like a organ or whatever that old 70s instrument is.
Like a xylophone, potentially. Like a sample of a xylophone. Like a
Yeah, but the one thing
Yeah.
I would ask is, we were talking about like, it definitely sucked us all in right away, right? And then
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
got to that point, it was like, a little flat.
Right.
But so if you, whichever way you made it fatter and made it more like, went in that direction, or it was more chill to begin with. The one thing that occurs to me is, while I thought it was super cool, like, what was the hook? What parts of that do I remember? Even in
Oh,
the
I can
short
tell you
period.
straight away.
Tell
I
me
can tell you
which
straight
ones.
away. If someone said, "Hey, have you heard that new song from blah blah blah?" The one that goes like, that's what a hook is. So what are you gonna say? And I would say, "Too far gone." Like that's
Agreed.
it. Dun, dun, dun.
you
So
go.
that was memorable enough, and you could make it even more memorable by taking out the music just before she says it, and then drop into just music without the vocal repeating. There's lots of ways of fixing it, but yeah, I mean, we all agree that it's a really awesome record, and it's almost there.
Yeah. Finishmytrack.com.
Or
know it.
lawn@dimmac.com also works.
Ooh,
so funny.
Wow.
See what I did there?
puppy.
Wow.
Hey,
He
it's
just
nothing to do with it, Poppy.
he just stole that away.
He just tall poppied me, and it's fine. I'm
I
here
mean,
for it.
Serious.
You got
Just
to
was
pull.
like,
If you want an Australian saying, you got to pull your finger out, and I
Right.
did.
oh,
Oh my god.
wait, what
Language!
just happened?
But it's funny.
That's what it is.
Right.
You got to pull your finger
How
out.
did
man.
I
You gotta-
end
you
up
gotta-
here?
You
I
gotta
don't-
get moving.
What's
I know.
happening?
Raquel, I'm
No.
like, oh man, she has to endure this.
Is that
I
a
mean, I'm
Western
used to it.
Australia thing?
It's the whole country.
The whole
Actually,
Yeah,
that
are there phrases that are very native to one coast to the other? Like New York, definitely Boston. You know, everybody has a thing.
I would argue that the entire country is basically the edges and then the middle. And the edges is like the way I would speak, and then the middle's a little bit more like this, and it's a little bit more drawl in the back of your throat, and it sounds a little bit more like, I don't know, you're trying to really relax the words and speak like you've got a little bit of chewing gum stuck in the back of your teeth. So they're the two different accents, and you remember that one from Crocodile Dundee probably. However, my girlfriend Brooklyn would say to you that in Western Australia, we put A on the end of any sentence that's kind of like a question mark. And that, as I've learned, is a Canadian thing also.
Oh,
It
Like,
is.
oh, it's a really good day out, eh? And I do that
Yes.
all the time, and
100%.
but nobody else in the country does it, except for Western Australia.
Got it.
Interesting.
Actually, you mentioned Crocodile Dundee. That move when you mentioned your email address, all I could think of in the back of my head immediately, like, that's a knife? No, this
That's
is
a knife. That's not a knife.
reference
Yeah,
that
that's a good
movie.
one. I like that one.
All right, next demo, Radio Dave, and this is called Radioactive. And this is Dope or Nope. I'm gonna move it in.
Your sickness, infection, your ailment, your illness, your virus, your cancer, your bitter, your hatred, your rancor, your malice, your spiteful, your anger, necrotic, destructive, malignant, corrosive, pestilent, repulsive, your toxic, your poison, your anthrax, your venom, your harmful, your acid, your radioactive. You're radioactive.
Sorry, I just had to bounce it there a little bit. Radio Dave. Radio.
Just jump ahead to the last drop. I heard this record. I'll finish my track already.
All right. Where are we here? This one? Or this one?
You are the human equivalent of Chernobyl.
Louder.
You're radioactive. You're
It's great. It's really cool.
Yep.
So before you finish the track, old mate Nick, I'll quickly say that I thought it would be better when that drop hit with a very... I do recognize that bass. I know I almost seen that preset before. Anyway, it's really great, and it's nice to hear it again, actually. I think it could be cool with a ever so slight filter over it in some places. And even when it drops into the verse, you could still have the drop, but with a massive low pass filter over it to sort of like Daft Punk it a little bit. But when the drop hit, then that sound hit, I thought it would be better if it had a little bit more space before it, because it just appears you've got all this build and there's no space in between the sound at all, and then that bass line just appears and it feels unwelcome, compared to if you sort of like filter out everything else and then put in ever so slight piece of silence, not too dissimilar to what you did in the second build and drop, and then like basically suck all the air out of the room, and then say put that vocal in saying it's radioactive, then hit the drop. It'll hit with more impact, because the way that the first drop hit, I'm like, wow, that was aggressive. But
Well, what I'll just
space.
Yeah, no, that's great feedback. I'll just sum up what we said on Finish My Track, which is basically he's done the different drop idea in multiple records now. And he does really well with that like psytrance bass that happens in that last drop. It just needs space. So you could, in theory, commit to that type of style of a record across the board versus changing every other drop what the feel is going to be. And I should also note that Dave is in the comments, and he said he wrote this about his ex-wife 2 years ago.
Oh,
And it's called Radioactive.
Okay.
Can we assume something?
Did that end well?
Oh,
No, not necessarily. Cool.
Dave, tell us what that means.
Austin wants the juicy details.
I feel like for all of every week we always say like our different whatever comments, and we can, I guess, equate to taking a break or taking whatever, changing a drop or something, like taking a breath, as to like taking a breath before you go into something else, because I feel like that is a lot of the same comments we always say, like, oh, change a little bit here, like change this up, make a space for this, like listen to it and be like, okay, where should I take that breath going into something? Because that's the thing with when you're listening to pop music or anything else, these people are taking breaths, and that is maybe the problem. And that's why we keep saying the same thing every single week, you know?
Well said. Dave also said it did not end well. So
Oh, that's good.
I would have
Radioactive.
never thought
Hard
that.
to tell. Hard to tell.
I mean, you're talking
Yeah.
about
Either way.
Malice, so I would think it wouldn't end well.
Right. All right. Thank you for that. Mario Tavares and Thando 1988. And this is called Rumors, the original mix. And you're listening to Dope or Nope.
Am I the only one who feels this way?
Hess, did Thando send this?
Addicted to all the things you do, like a magnet.
What was that?
You got me in pursuit, and I love it. Ooh, every time we touch it. I heard a rumor that there's something about you, and I'm liking all the things they say. I feel my body come alive when I'm around you. I heard a rumor that you feel the same. I heard a rumor that there's something about you, and I'm liking all the things they say. I feel my body come alive when I'm around you. I heard a rumor that you feel the same. All this attention we causing, let's keep 'em hooked, keep 'em talking.
Does this or does this not sound like Dua Lipa?
Who feels this way?
Sorry, you sound like what?
Dua Lipa. Come on,
I mean-
Raquel.
You mean vocally?
Not the
Are you
vocal.
sure? What?
Not the vocal.
It's only talking about the vocal.
I heard a rumor that there's something
Right here.
about you.
Sounds like something else.
I think the hook is delivered that
Telling you,
way.
if I needed to do a Dua Lipa re-sing, she would be getting cold. She's crushing it.
Oh, I love
DJ Punzo on Instagram said it's a mix between Vassie and Dua Lipa.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
you hear that?
A very
Strength.
muted Vassie
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vassie has a lot more power.
because
That's,
she, yeah.
it's nice.
Super cool. Mario Tavares, Thando 1988. And that is called Rumors, the original mix. Mario had one a couple weeks ago that was also definitely a demo of the day for me that day.
I feel like this is a really good earworm too, because you would be singing these vocals. The lyrics are easy to remember. You're gonna be
Right.
like cleaning your house and say, why am I still singing this?
Yeah, exactly. And I think Mario has a way, what we were talking about before with that other song, where he can weave weave this sort of story and pull you in and pull you in and pull you in, but keep you coming in, even because he never really, he has like the ups and downs are very slight, but they're there enough to just keep dragging you in to the song further, as opposed to what we were talking about before, right? Well done,
Thando,
sir.
we've done a lot of work with Thando, and he brings the funk to this record for sure. It's like dead on brand with his other stuff, and super talented upcoming producer out of New York.
Oh, I
recommend
don't.
you guys check him
Oh,
out.
cool.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Can
Thank
I
you.
just can I just throw a cat amongst the pigeons? There's another one for you, Austin.
Oh, jeez. A cat?
Yeah, you're welcome. A cat amongst the pigeons. Imagine pigeons and a cat, and there's problems. Anyways.
What are we and what are you? Are we the cat?
A lot of feathers.
I'm the
Are
cat.
we the
Screaming.
pigeon?
All the pigeons.
I
The
don't like
situation is the pigeons. Everyone's just milling around. Everything's cool, and there's no problems. And then some idiot like me decides to go, well, hang on a second. I've got a bloody
What if there was a
idea."
cat?
Then you throw
Would
a
you
cat.
say it's radioactive? That's a radioactive situation.
Yes.
That would be a radioactive situation.
Yeah,
Yes, it would
absolutely.
be.
So you're the
Um,
cat,
I'm
or the person throwing the cat.
Mr. McDizzle, what's up, man? Are you
This-
you listening to
this-
Lauren talk right now? He's talking about throwing cats at pigeons.
I just think of Mary Poppins.
Listen, this idea of yours, Austin, of me throwing in Australian colloquialisms is not working when the explanation is stupid and we shouldn't be saying these stupid things in Australia
no.
anyway.
But go
and
on.
it takes up half the show. What was my point?
Well worth it. Well, I'll sit here all day, hear these Australians. Let's put a poll out there. Let's poll this.
Oh my god.
No polls this week.
All right.
Little finger.
Let's think about what I was going to say. Oh yeah, so the cat amongst the pigeons for me is I think the drop, the beats are too on beat. They're too straight. They're too soldier marching. They don't have enough swing in it. There's not enough 16C feeling to it. And and I think it could be maybe the bass line could move around a little bit more, but it's either that if I listen to the drop one more time, it's the kick and it's the bass. It's too short. It's too short. But the notes
Oh,
are really, really
interesting.
short.
I see what you're
and
saying
they
there.
don't have a long throw on them. There's not like enough body in them because they just kick and they're in and out, which is sometimes good. But in this instance, I think you want it to feel a little bit more lazy and a little bit more funky and a little bit more disco and a little bit more
Live.
Right. Precisely. So that
In
was
a
my
word.
only thinking.
Very nice.
Thank you, Nick.
That's
Good
actually a good. That's only a small cat, maybe a kitten.
Maybe.
Kitten.
It's just
It's
a
a
kitten.
kitten
on that
amongst the
one.
pigeons. The pigeons
Right,
are
Why
going to
exactly.
beat up on the kitten.
why isn't it a dog? I'm
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
Dogs
just
would
what
probably
it
be
is.
bored with pigeons. You know, they'd be like, oh, whatever, get out of here. Cats are like, yeah, man, feathers. Yeah, cool.
Cats
Great.
are wildly more aggressive with massive big razors, so they're just like slashing at all the pigeons.
Right. Yeah, that was really good, though. Thank you, Mario, for sending that, and I'm definitely gonna look
Nice
up
one, Mario.
the other producer. Thanks, Nick, for
Yeah,
letting
send
us
that
know.
through. I'd love to listen to it in full. It's good record.
This next one is a young producer named Staria, and this is called Clouds, and this is a work in progress, as we put it. Whoop.
All this time it takes to forget, and I keep coming back
So that's Clouds by Staria. She's in the, I don't know, Twitch or Instagram, but she was looking for some insight on that.
Is she singing?
Yeah, that's all her.
Very nice. It's like indie.
Yeah, the vocals are cool. I like how weird it is.
I like the woodblock out of nowhere, and whatever that mid bass or that wow wow wow, whatever the wow 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 is.
I think she just came out of the studio with this morning.
I like the
Studio
groove a lot.
aficionados? Yeah.
The groove is really cool. For me, it sounds like a lot of the pieces are all there. It's just a matter of like where they are in the track, because there's certain parts like I wanted it to just go instrumental for a second to miss the vocal, but the vocal kept going.
Yeah.
But then that vocal part that kept going was really cool.
Right.
So I'd almost be curious. Actually, a good technique for producers watching too is like when you get to this place in the track, almost like treat it like loops and bounce out all the parts. Maybe group some of them.
Yeah.
And then put them in a new session and move them around.
Whoa. Sorry.
That's all good.
Sorry about
You
that.
might come up with like a fresh idea on the arrangement that you otherwise wouldn't have thought about if you're working in the weeds of, your full session. So that's something I might consider for this type of track.
Oh, look, and we're making a connection here. Mario needs vocalists
Yes, that needs to happen.
in the Twitch chat.
There you
Sorry,
go.
yeah.
Be friends.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was really
Lauren,
good.
any comments?
Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked it. I'm trying to fit in some Australian colloquialisms for you. It was ever so slightly skew-if. It wasn't like it wasn't all glued in, but there was a lot of really, to Nick's point, compelling parts individually. So they just kind of need to be arranged and some things turned off so that the other ones can be heroed instead of playing everything all at once. So the arrangement could use some help. I really liked the vocal when it first came in. It felt really great. And then the high vocal kind of distracted me slightly. And I wondered whether it could be instead used more like a high harmony, and you'd kind of back it off slightly and make it wider and a little bit more airy and put it at slightly the back of the mix instead of it feeling like a lead. But in some places it can work. So that was all. It was just a lot of really good parts. It'd be to Nick's point, it'd be great to sit with a session and move things around and see what felt really good when the vocal appears out of an instrumental moment or everything stops singing, so you do get that instrumental feel. I think what kept it going for me in the build was the pad. There was this really awesome building pad that was stepping up in its chords, and it sounded really awesome. So I like it. I like it a lot.
And what was the Australian word you kicked off with? Scoriad?
Skew-if. Skew-if
Skew-it.
means when things are a little bit disjointed and combobulated. Discombobulated would be the...
My brain hurts from all this vocab today.
Like a skewer, but skid?
Yeah, it's
A chicken skewer.
Skew-if. If something's skew-if, it's like a... There's another really weird saying called a mad woman's breakfast or an old dog's breakfast, which basically means if something's all over the place and completely like a mess. But this wasn't that. It was just ever so slightly off in some places, so it's a little bit skew-if.
Got it.
There you go.
My brain.
No more Australians. Isms.
We're just getting started, baby.
Oh, no, we're not.
Right.
Next week.
Austin's whole
Next week.
radio show is going to be Australian saying.
Yeah.
Yes,
Whole
please.
time. And no one's
the
not,
Aussie
and no one's gonna
report.
understand what's happening.
I would be so lucky.
Aussie report.
The Aussie
Aussie
report
report.
right there.
You know what
alright.
would work, honestly, is if we had
What's
two
that?
Australians on the show, we would basically egg each other on, and
Or-
we would bounce
I would
off
have
each
no
other.
clue
Our
what's
accents, yeah, exactly. Our accents would become much more thicker, and we would start coming up with other sayings that we don't even remember until we're in the moment. So,
Or
Andy Van would be a great guest on the show. We should bring him on.
Andy Van's not ochre enough. He's an awesome. I mean, he's the #1 A&R person ever in Australia. He discovered Avicii. He discovered Dirty South. He discovered Angademus. and I sat next to him, so therefore I was working with these people because of Andy Van. So Andy would be great. Mind you, it's also something like, let me see over here. It's also 6:30 a.m. right now where he lives in Melbourne. So it would be a 5 a.m. call for him. I don't know, that's going to work out.
Nice.
We'll see. He might
What
be a little
about,
more
uh,
salty because of it.
What about a Kiwi? And then you guys could go back and forth because the Kiwis say stuff differently as well.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You know who we could get on, actually, is Quicks.
There you
Get
go.
on Quicks.
there you
He's
go.
from New Zealand, which means he's 3 hours ahead. He could probably do it like some morning session. And he and I go back and forth with our Aussie New Zealand sayings a lot because they're basically the same. That'll work. Quicks.
Love it.
Let's
Raquel's
see
like,
let's hit him up.
I'm
My
gonna
head
be off
hurts.
that week.
Yeah,
My
sorry, I'm
head
busy.
hurt.
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
All right, so we'll do this last demo. This has been another awesome show. Lauren, you have time for one more? Or you got to jump.
I may have to jump, but let's see. I'll get prepped while you're.
All right, you do that, and I'll do this. This is Reznor, and this is called Stay. Well, I'm gonna bounce around. It's a little long, and this is Dope or Nope. It's 3 a.m. and I'm in a speaker.
That's bass.
Gonna move it up. Oh yeah. Make that 5 a.m.
So Hess. Hell yeah. Right. Hess.
Yeah.
I remember being in this club when I was 18.
I was just gonna ask if anyone else is in the club right now, because this is really good. Hold on, I'm gonna bounce it a little bit. This is sick. One more time. Come on. All right.
That's tough.
I'm
Is it though? Is it though? It's not really that tough. I don't think. I just think it's absolutely perfect for what it is.
yeah. This is another demo of the day for me. Hands
Yeah,
down.
it really is just great for what it's
Speaking
trying
of
to do.
what's on the lid,
Oh,
Another day. Very nice. Yeah, Raquel was like, "What is that?"
that is exactly what was on the lid of whatever I just took.
on the lid of the Snapple.
Yeah,
Yes,
wasn't Snap.
does what it says on the tin. Actually, I stand corrected. It's the tin. Does
I
what it says on the
guarantee you that
tin.
was not
Tin or
Snap.
lid, it both works.
Wow, that's really good. Renzer, and that's called Stay.
It's great.
Nice one.
Something. Yeah. So there, we did it again. Another show in the can.
Yeah,
in the,
really
in the
nice.
something. There's another Aussieism for that, I'm sure. Everybody, thank you for joining us. This has been Dope or Nope. We listen to 1 hour demos every Thursday at 3 p.m. EST. Our illustrious panel, Nick Dietrich from the Disco Fries and Liftoff Recordings, and FinishMyTrack.com. And a lot of really fun stuff. By the way, the TikTok thing was really good today. What was that called? The something of the
Oh,
day?
soundbite, like
Soundbite
bite,
of the
like
day?
biting fries. Soundbite.
Yeah.
That's how it's spelled.
Got it.
Uh,
That's a little bit of a stretch, but okay.
That was might have been Radio Dave. Somebody from the Finish My Track crew came up with it. So
No, but the post was great. If you guys go check it out, it's on TikTok.
I think
Was that a
Kramer sent
Fry's?
you an older one because I
sent-
didn't post one today, but
That one popped up on TikTok for me, and I just wanted to share it because I don't know if we have time to talk about it. Maybe another episode, but it was probably, in summary, what we talk about all the time. It's Nick describing like, don't be, I guess, scared to readapt. We kind of touched on it today. Don't be scared to readapt music for different formats because you're only increasing the amount of total sum audience that gets to enjoy your art. And I thought that was just really well put. I've never heard it that laid out that simply. So
Yeah.
love it, Nick.
That was
Keep
great.
the dailies
Yeah.
coming.
Nick's
good
tweets
stuff.
have been on fleek.
Yeah.
They've been
yo, I'll
great.
tell you what. I started doing these things because I don't know. I just felt like sharing more of the wisdom that we share here and on Finish My Track, but in like a really concise way.
Yeah.
And our Twitter interaction has like gone through the roof. People seem to really enjoy it. So
Great.
Yeah,
been fun.
That's awesome.
Nice one.
So that is Nick Dietrich, who now seems to be frozen to me. So Austin Kramer from Tomorrowland, One World Radio, and Unreleased. You can find him on Spotify and on Reach.me, Austin Kramer. There is Lauren Padman, Vice President, Dimmock Records, studio aficionado, and all-around tall hair guy, and don't mess with his tennis.
Wow. Hair and tennis.
There's
All
got to
right.
always be one comment about the hair. And last but never least, Raquel Goldie from Vinny's Vibes, Globalization, Sirius XM, K-pop aficionado, and seriously, if you're trying to get something done on social media and you just are having a really rough time maybe and just like need a little kick, reach out to her on DM and she will get you
Slide
through
into
it.
my DMs.
Yeah, there it is.
Wow.
I didn't want to say it that way. I felt a little.
It's
Right.
fine. Slide
Okay.
into my DMs, guys.
And I am Hess. I do radio and marketing and promotion for Armada Music in the United States. And this is one of the funnest things I do every week.
Yep.
And I really appreciate you guys. I think we had another great show. Great demos. Thank you, everyone, for sending your music and allowing us to share it. And don't forget to hug someone you love. It's never too late to show them how you feel. Nick, are we doing the raid?
You know what? We should do a raid. Yeah. Just give me
Yeah.
1 second.
Thank you, Ash.
All right.
And
Thanks,
wait,
everybody.
one last thing. Reach.me. Thank you very much for always
Oh,
being
yeah.
there and creating this
Yes.
lovely platform for us to,
Great platform.
talk our stuff on and share things with you. Check it out. Reach.me. It's pretty awesome. Ready for the raid?
I'm getting it going right now. Hold on.
Oh, listen to this drop. Come on.
We're gonna go into our buddy DJ Scene.
Nice. Thanks, everyone. Have a great
All right,
weekend.
thanks, everybody.
Later.
Bye.